Adam Milner, all of Castleford. Jermaine McGilvray, the sole Huddersfield Giant. Jake Connor and Scott Taylor from Hull FC. I presume this was before his injury news, but that he wouldn't be playing this season.
I think they just haven't taken anyone out.
Haven't taken him out.
Yeah.
Then from Leeds, you've got Ryan Hall, Stevie Ward, Callum Watkins.
See you.
From
haven't taken anyone out.
Yeah. Then you've got Johnny Lomax, Tommy Makinson, Mark Percival, James Roby, Luke Thompson and Alex Walmsley, see above, from St Helens.
Exactly.
Tom Johnson from Wakefield, Darryl Clark, Mike Cooper, Ben Curry, Chris Hill, Stephen Ratchford from Warrington, John Bateman, Sean O'Loughlin, see above, and Sam Tompkins and George Williams from the Wigan Warriors.
So the talking point is the additions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sam Tompkins for me has been the most consistent English fullback, even though he's not always played 80 minutes at fullback every game this season. Even though,
but I think that's a quality that Wayne Bennett likes, isn't it?
Yeah.
That he likes that versatility and that cover ability.
Yeah. Even though Ratchford's probably in better form right now in the last month or so, say probably since the Denver test, really, Tompkins has been better than him over the whole season, I would say. And Cooper, richly deserved for me. He's been absolutely incredible in the last probably 3 or 4 times I've seen him play. Milner, I'm a bit on the fence on. I don't see him as a top level international class player, but I think he's the kind of player if you put that quote in front of him, he'd be desperate to prove me wrong and shove it to me.
Yeah.
So that's a good quality.
Oh, exactly. Battler. But where would you put him in that England side? Where would you see him playing? Because that's my problem with Adam Milner, is I can never really pin him down to where he's best.
What, Milner?
Yeah. Where would you put him in that squad?
In the
You're going to pick him in the team.
In the players that don't play.
But yeah, if you had to play him, where would you put him?
If I had to play him in the side,
yeah,
I'd have him on the bench for versatility, I suppose, because I don't understand. I don't understand why. I don't understand why he's in there rather than the night squad personally, but that's.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
That's me. What do you make of the other two? Any disagreements?
Tompkins, agree 100%. Cooper, yeah, it's been fantastic, and
probably better than Hill, really, in the last since the England game. I've noticed
he's more stable than Hill.
Yeah, totally. Got his old elbows out again, didn't he, Chris Hill? Chris
yeah, I did think that. We'll come on to that in the game reviews when we get to them. But yeah, so I no agree with those.
Yep. Okay, England night squad. They've done some chatting as well and announced some new people. So Paul Anderson has named 10 new faces in his squad for the second phase of the season.
Gosh.
Anderson has named now a 31-man Knights performance squad for the second half of the campaign as they prepare to take on PNG over a 2-match test tour later this year. Castleford Tigers back row Oliver Holmes is one of 10 new additions to the squad alongside St Helens starlet Matty Lees. Wigan Warriors mid-season signing Joe Greenwood is one of the new inclusions, while Warrington Wolves back rower Harvey Levett, Hull FC's Brad Bash and Hull Kingston Rovers prop Rob Mulhern have also been named. Leeds duo Ash Hanley and Mikolaj Olejki have been included, as have Wakefield pair Max Jowett and James Batchelor. So now the 31-man squad in full is Minikin, Truman and Holmes from Castleford Tigers, Leeming from Huddersfield, Fash, Hadley, Matongo and Shaw from Hull FC, Atkin, Mulhern from Hull KR, Hanley, Olejki from Leeds, James Cunningham still in there from the London Broncos, now Levels from Salford Red Devils, Matty Lees, Danny Richardson from Saints, Batchelor, Jowett and Lynn from Trin, Jack Hughes and Harvey Levett from Wyre, Tom Gilmore, Danny Walker, Matt Whitley from Widnes, Davies, Gildart, Greenwood, Powell and Sutton from the Wigan Warriors there. So, what do you make on any of those inclusions? Any that you think a bit surprised by, and any that you think totally justified and maybe should have been in there earlier?
So Mikolaj Olejki, I'm really pleased to see get in there. New dad, Mikolaj Olejki, so congratulations to him this week.
Oh, I thought you meant like a new he's co-hosting the podcast with me. Every time I hear new dad now, I think it's you. I think it's the listeners thinking about like another co-host of the show.
I mean, that would be quite cool if we get Mikolaj Olejki to host the podcast.
A wonderful accent. I do love a very like regionalised Northern English version of a Eastern European or any sort of European accent. So he wins on that regard, doesn't he?
Yeah. Obviously, I'm really pleased for Robbie Mulhern to see him get in there. Ash Handley is an interesting one. possibly. Brad Fash, I agree with. Joe Greenwood, I think he's probably the right sort of player in there, along with Ollie Holmes. He's the kind of target type you would want in that night. So someone who's a possible. This is what the if the main England EPS is the probables, then this is the possibles, isn't it? So this is.
I agree with your breakdown that Holmes and Greenwood are kind of two blokes who you think if a real injury purge hit the elite performance squad, they would be blokes who you wouldn't not trust to step up a level and at least be a constructive member of the squad, if not like a performer on the pitch sort of thing at that level. I'm not sure about Fash. He's yet to convince me fully yet, but I suppose with a development angle, this has kind of worked, and I really like the inclusion of Jowett, Batchelor, and Alejki. Basically, putting anyone who's 21 and under into the group. Matty Lees, whilst he needs refining on his kind of aggression and targeting that a little bit better by not taking people's heads off, then I think him and Harvey Levett kind of fit that bill as well. I think Levett's maybe 22, maybe 21, 22, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But
and I'm pleased. Yeah, going back to the main, I'm pleased to see that Richie Cunningham's still in there from the Broncos as well.
Happy days for him indeed. Yeah.
Hey.
Okay. Germany. Leeds centre Jimmy Kindhorst has been named in the Germany squad. Tim, tell us about it.
Yeah. The kindly horse himself, Jimmy Kindhorst, has been named in the Germany squad along with two players from the Championship for their 2021 World Cup qualifiers against the Czech Republic and Norway, and the Angle Griffin Cup clash with the Netherlands. Who is Griffin and why does he have an interest between Germany and the Netherlands? Leeds Rhino star Kindhorst has scored 18 tries and 15 goals in 10 appearances for Germany. Is the highest profile player named in the Nationale Rugby League Deutschland squad. Halifax's Connor Hampson, Swinton Lions halfback Brad Billsborough, and who was he at Whitehaven earlier in the season? York City Knights Ben Dent, and signed to the Coventry Bears or not yet to make an appearance, former Oxford player Andy Hoggins have also been named in the side. The squad includes 12 newcomers and contains 19 in the group that beat the Wales Dragonhearts 38-34 last October in Cardiff.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that there's some people who earn a living, maybe not their main living necessarily, but earn a living playing the game a little bit, getting involved in that Germany squad. That can only be invaluable for the people that are in the local competition. I think finished over the last couple of weeks as well. So
and I think Brad Billsborough has been doing some kicking with the Saints women's squad as well.
Oh, right. Well,
he's been getting involved with them. Yeah, because he was
from Saints, and he's a goal kicker, so that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know he's doing some sessions with Tara Jones and Faye Gaskin to get work on their kicking game. So you've got to think his sort of that coaching mindset that he's got into will be able to extend across into some of the local players and trying to bring those, especially at half-back. That's a position where you can bring a few people along with you, isn't it?
It's really good insight, and you can start thinking about teaching a few other players passing skills, but maybe not having in the same positions, or kicking skills, and just develop some of the local players' game understanding and that sort of stuff, even if they're not necessarily going to take on the same positions. Right, non-announcement time, Tim. Following a review of the video referee trial undertaken at this year's Betfred Championship Summer Bash, it has been unanimously agreed that all current video referee systems and protocols will remain the same for the remainder of the season, with one amendment in relation to players staging or feigning, aka faking, injury. As part of ongoing discussions between match officials department, head coaches and Sky Sports, video referees will now only be able to advise on foul play not picked up by the on-field match officials if it is of a serious enough nature for a player to be sin-binned or sent off. The change will come into place from the start of the Super 8s on Thursday, August the 9th.
I'm not sure I get how much of a change that is, if I'm honest.
No change.
Because surely that's the only reason you would bother checking for...
So, I think basically reading between the lines, they can't tell them, that was... That is the head, so
they can't look for a penalty. Yeah. They can't say Is it a penalty? All they can say is, I've got a possible yellow card, can you tell me?
So
and then I'll say, no, it should be a penalty. Oh, right, we're in the same position as we were.
So then they won't give the penalty. So the referee on-field penalty, if it should be a penalty but wasn't given as a penalty and the player goes down, unless it would be warranting a yellow card, so, direct head contact or crush tackle, for example, then they're not going to change the play the ball situation. They're going to leave it to the match review committee and stuff like that is what I read into that. So no real change, because we don't see them interfering much with penalties anyway on foul play. It tends to just be
given.
And
Done.
more and more
Given.
recently, we've seen a few occasions where this kind of protocol almost has come into play without it being the official protocol.
Yeah.
It feels like. Okay. Signings
Do it some news. Yep, some more signings news. And St Helens have signed back row Joseph Paulo from the Cronulla Sharks on a 3-year deal. Paulo, who's 30, has played internationally for Samoa and the USA and will move to the Totally Wicked Stadium ahead of the 2019 season. Paulo has made more than 100 appearances in the NRL for Cronulla, Penrith and Parramatta. He's Saints' third signing for 2019, following the Fijian captain Kevin Niguama and York forward and former Coventry Bear Joe Batchelor.
It suggests to me that John Wilkin might be playing his last season at St Helens. I can't believe he's only 30. I thought
that was my thing. I was like, he's been around for a fair old time. Am I right in thinking
I thought he was 30 in the 2013 World Cup? I think he changed his age. Not like the normal way that we change our age before anyone picks us up on that. Sorry, go on.
Am I right in thinking, did he take a spell out of the game to do some missionary work?
I'm not.
I can't remember.
I'm not aware that he did.
That's him or someone else.
Will Hopewadi is one who springs to mind who did that. Some of the, but I don't remember Joseph Paulo doing that. But I fell out with Joseph Paulo when he chose to represent Samoa over America in the last World Cup. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I took the same view on that one. Another, Saints strengthening again for 2019. I mean, if you thought they were fearsome now, wait till they rock up next year.
Because he's a forward who can play a bit of rugby as well. When it's called upon. Okay. England international prop Scott Taylor is one of 4 players to have signed new contracts with Hull FC. Hull vice-captain Taylor, who's 27, has agreed a new 5-year deal that will keep him with his hometown club until the end of the 2023 season. Utility man Danny Washbrook, who's 32, has extended his contract by another year, while 26...
Sorry, Danny Washbrook is not 32. That's Jimmy Hill on that one. If he's not 35...
While 26-year-old forward Josh Bowden has signed a new 2-year extension. Teenage prop Jack Brown, who's 18, has agreed a 3-year contract as well. I think that's his first professional terms there. Yeah, I mean, we are flabbergasted by people's age regularly.
Sorry. Just to pick Danny Washbrook's the same age as me. Well, that's just not right.
He's younger than me, so I'm feeling like not too. It makes me feel not as awful as I genuinely feel on a day-to-day basis about my thinning of the hair, because his has gone a lot more than mine has at this point. Yeah, he's still trying to cover it up even more than I am. Scott Taylor's the big one there. I mean, tying down an important,
sensible,
important, and it's a long-term deal. There's a risk in that length of deal, but he's an important player for them, not just in terms of like the way they play and them on the field, but he's also really important in terms of he's got a real bond with the fans after kind of making it clear that he wanted to move back to his hometown club, and then as soon as he's moved back to them, they've enjoyed their best period for a decade.
And in terms of culture, in terms of what he does for the community game as well, coaching Beverley.
Exactly.
And he often turns up at kids games and whatever, and he does a lot of outreach stuff with the club, which he doesn't have to do. A lot of it does seem to be genuinely that he enjoys doing it and he goes out there. So I think this is fair reward for him, giving something back to him and saying, you can stay here as long as you want, basically, which is what that deal is at this age. And I think that's fantastic. I think he is someone who does give you that sort of culture, and he's a player that, although he plays for the wrong team, that you can't help but admire.
No, I'm with you 100% on that one.
Okay, so Castleford starlet Callum Turner has signed a new 2-year deal with the Tigers. The 19-year-old made his debut against Hull FC in May and has gone on to play 3 games in Super League this season, scoring 2 tries, kicking 8 goals while he was there. Turner has been a shining light in the Academy League, helping the Tigers to the Academy Grand Final last year, as well as being an England Academy International.
Talented kid.